That was Colin Rowley, you know, the ex-FBI, and we talked about WikiLeaks and the leaks of systems. Now we're going to talk about a leak-proof system with its interface. We're talking about, you know, Gail Anderson. She's the director of Unity and Relationship, and she really, what I like about their program, that they actually do things. They actually bring people from different faiths, and they host families, and don't just sit in the dark room under a basement of a church and just chat and shopping for ideas, but they actually do program. Welcome to BelAhdan.
Thank you,
Gail, and it's very nice for you to come here. And I mean, the interfaith dialogue has been going for a long time, and I've been part of some of it. And, you know, I mean, we come and talk and we try to be nice to each other. There is no serious, really, debate. I mean, you have to choose to be nice and accept everything the other party is saying, or to be rude and try to stop, no, I don't believe in this. And the other case is not healthy. So tell us a little bit about your organization and the programs that you have here.
Well, you're right. The Minnesota Council of Churches has been doing interfaith work for 2 decades. And we do one dialogue, which is basically sitting and talking. But what I feel is more effective is relationship building. As Muslims will tell me all the time that non-Muslims need to understand about Islam, and to some extent I agree, but I think it's more important.
Go to the library, read the book,
well, I know,
DVD.
But, so I think it's more important that non-Muslims get to know Muslims, American Muslims, Minnesota Muslims, and I think that brings the whole temperature down of the fear and the anxiety and suspicion, and it changes when you start reading about something in the news or one of the people that likes to stir us up and keep us divided says something. You think about your friend that you knew or the mosque that you visited, and it changes how
it's
you.
It's interesting when you ask people about Muslims, they have a negative view. When you ask people about a Muslim friend, they have a positive view.
Yeah, right.
So it's you have to get involved personally. But how about the other way around? The Muslim community educate themselves about the mainstream culture, about the other faiths. Do you see, when you talk to Muslims in the dialogue or otherwise, are they aware of the other religion? Are they up to par? They understand?
I think Muslims think they know about Christianity because it's all around, and they're sometimes pretty shocked when we sit down and have conversations to hear that what I may believe or somebody else may believe is not what they think Christianity is all about, which is kind of fun. That's kind of fun to do. Yeah.
Because, you know, for a Muslim, you know, Islam talks a lot about other religion, Christianity and Jesus, the idea, the main, you know, the virgin birth, Mary, Jesus as revered prophet, maybe don't believe the theology, and, you know, there's some technicality there. But for me, when a Muslim comes to the table, they have more background than an average Christian. Knowledge
of the other
religion. I
mean, but I think if you went to a Christian that was living in a Muslim country, they would know more about it because, you know, I think it has something to do with the dominant religion and the minority religion. You're going to know more about it, right?
So tell us about the program where actually people can host other people from other...
We have been doing refugee resettlement for 2 decades also. And for the last 10 years, we have been welcoming families. There's been family reunification. So the family already here in Minnesota has been preparing for years, maybe decades, for their family to come and join them. Starting in January of 2010, we started getting what's called free cases. And so a free case comes in, they don't have a family host, and they don't have friends here. I mean, although people come from the Somali community, they quickly find that they know somebody here. But there isn't anybody that's going to be dedicated to taking care of them, getting them set up, helping them get their public assistance and all that sort of thing. So we're putting together groups. What we've traditionally done is ask church congregations to host. So you have a Christian congregation that's hosting, you know, very likely a Muslim refugee family that's coming. So last year we got some funding and we decided to try to build interfaith groups. So we're putting Muslims and non-Muslims together, mostly Christians, but some other people, together to form basically their host family here, their new family.
So the idea not to host them, just to become dependent on living. I mean, just the idea
Oh,
is
yeah.
to
We get an apartment. The team first sets up everything, collects all the donations, which is the easiest part.
Really?
Everybody's got extra stuff. So if you ask,
Yeah,
you have extra sheets,
Go
pots and
furnish.
pans, set of
yeah.
dishes, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
So the stuff is really easy. We set up the apartment, move in, usually pull in a few extra people for that day. And then get them to all their appointments at the beginning. They have to go to Social Security, public system. So there's some driving. But it's mostly getting them acclimated here and settled.
Especially the first few months.
Yeah, the volunteer group becomes the people they most trust when they first
and
get
they
here.
do trust the volunteers.
Yeah,
Because they're coming from, a collective, family-based
Right.
culture, and they're not going to stay with people who don't look like them and don't speak their language.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for them. And I think we have discovered that there's some suspicion about who are these people that don't know us, that know anything about us, that are just coming to help. So we've been working some in the Somali community to talk about why people volunteer and how they care for their community, because they do. They volunteer. They just don't do it the way we volunteer.
I see, yeah.
So
it's just random, or it's built into the culture.
Right, it is.
I
Yeah,
see.
they help all the time.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do this together.
To be
Well,
organized
certainly,
volunteerism.
we're waiting right now for 3 large Somali families. Two 8-member and 1 4-member families. They are not literate in Somali. They speak no English. We really need people from that culture to help us on the teams. We have a case manager who speaks the language, but he's got 30 cases. So if we have people that are on their sponsorship team, translation, culture, and letting the newly arriving family know that these volunteers are here to help you and you can trust them and it's okay.
So the biggest issue is trust or awareness of the service that you are offering. People accept, you want help.
The families when they first come?
Yeah.
Well, they kind of do. I mean, they just get on a plane in Africa and they have their one bag and they're going to some place called Minnesota.
Cold.
And then there's some people that join them at the airport. They don't really have a lot of choice, they're going to do what we tell them to do, but, it's very scary.
It is scary, even especially if they come this month, when
It's scary for us now,
when
isn't
it's
it?
snowing and then but your organizations, based on volunteers.
Yeah,
people
mostly
come.
we do,
How do you recruit your volunteers?
We go on BelAhdan and we talk to you.
You're going to get 2.
Well, we go out to, the community any way we can. I'm at Friday Prayer a lot. I was at Friday Prayer in Bloomington a couple weeks ago.
Really?
And as I'm driving in, people are going, hi, Gail, hi, Gail. Everybody knows me.
What was the sermon?
What was the sermon? It was Ikram
Did he
al-Haq,
hate America? Or?
No, he did not hate America. And nobody blew up. It was just fine.
It was fine.
Yes,
That's
it was
good.
fine.
A lot of people who were anti the mosque in New York, Lower Manhattan, they've never been in a mosque.
No.
So when you be in the mosque, when you be there, and you see how people, just the average people, mix from 20 different countries, and everybody has his own issue. Finding your shoe, probably your biggest issue. Not listening to the sermon.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
People, average American look at the mosque as like a ground center for terrorism, and people plotting to hurt America.
Well, that's what, last Ramadan we did a Taking Heart, which is not where we do work with the refugees. That's where we have food and conversation. Down in the basement. We're not debating. We're getting to know each other.
What is about the basement of religion?
I don't know, but this was at a mosque. We had more than 100 people there. And we asked how many of you have never been in a mosque before, and about 30 said that. And they'd never seen prayer before. And I just feel like we made 30 ambassadors that night.
Wow.
You're not going to go out and there will be a dinner party or at a coffee shop and somebody will say something about Muslims. And, I was at the mosque.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes.
It doesn't come from a policy or Obama sending a message to the Muslim war. That's the most lame thing I've ever heard of, because he's the one who's bombing Muslims and killing Muslims more than anybody up here these days.
Well, and one of the things I really like about Taking Root, in that we meet people at the airport with an interfaith group, is so many of the people come to us either from one culture, one religion where they're from, and they don't know other people, or they come from someplace where their religion is what got them in trouble. That's why they were persecuted and had to leave.
Exactly.
So we meet them at the airport with a mixed faith group that's working together to immediately give them the message that that's
they're
not
going
how
to
we
bring
want it.
Sharia to the country. And most of the people are escaping Sharia.
I have been, almost every event that I've done where I've spoke with a group, I've been asked about Sharia law. That is a huge concern of people.
What is Sharia law that affects in America these days?
Well, I don't know, but that is something that's being stirred up as a fear, and the people are asking me about it. And
yeah, because people rely on internet and Fox, and these people they live in a different planet.
Oh, and the awful emails that get circulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're against this high-tech, high whatever media hypes, 24/7 of media hypes, and that what you do in 1 year it can be wiped out in 15 minutes by Rush Limbaugh or Sarah Palin.
Well, it can unless people know each other and have relationships. I was at 9/11 service at ICM at the Islamic Center last fall, and there were 3 of our volunteers from Taking Root. They're 3 Christians. And I went over and I said, if you hadn't worked on this project, would you have come here tonight? And they said, absolutely not. It made a difference to them.
One of the things, I know I have to wrap it up, one of the things a lot of Americans know, even I know about Minnesota, probably it's the model all other states. 80% of the mosques I've gone through here, they were churches.
Yeah.
Or part of the church, or a church basement.
And on Friday prayer, you park in the church parking lot across the street to go to prayer. Yeah.
So the relationship is very good.
Yeah, it is.
So all this must be just a media hype then.
Yeah, I think the relationship is actually excellent, and I've heard that from national leaders who have come in and see what we do here and say we really have a special community. And it's because of a lot of people doing work to make it that way.
Gail Anderson, Director of Unity and Relationship. I hope we have a good relationship here. You're doing a wonderful job, and I think that concludes our show. We'll see you next week. Assalamu alaikum, and God bless you all. لو جيت في يوم أرسمك